Hey, I'm Ruth, managing weight with food, and I'm working with tofu today. Please don't freak out. I'm not going to hold you down and force it down your throat. Tofu is just one of a variety of food you can eat to be healthy. And it's been my lifelong dream, well, okay, my year-long dream, okay, well, my 7.5-month dream, to get a tofu substitute that kind of mimics corned beef so I can go back to eating a Reuben. Delicious pumpernickel rye, delicious Swiss cheese, and Thousand Island dressing, and sauerkraut. But I don't eat meat, so I want to see if tofu could be a good substitute. Still working on it. What I'm attempting to do is, and by the way, tofu is no longer the specialty food it was. It's readily available. It's pretty cheap. This is about $2.85 a pound. That compares with, I just went through my grocer's circular this week. Sirloin steak, $5 a pound, salmon, $7, ground chuck, $3.50, chicken breast, $2 a pound, deli sliced ham, $6 a pound, pork chops, $4 a pound, and shrimp, of course, $8 a pound. So to get started, I have to just start experimenting. I have to just start buying stuff and be my own test kitchen for my Ruthen. So I've got 3 recipes I'm working with. I'm going to start first with something called Tofu Escabeche, and it comes from a Mark Bittman recipe in the New York Times. And escabeche, I had to look that up, and it just means usually a fish that you have poached in some kind of vinegary marinade. You put it in the fridge overnight. You usually serve it cold. So I'm starting with that, and I've cut up the tofu into little triangles, put it on parchment paper. I'm going to bake it for about an hour at 300 degrees. I have experimented a little bit. On this tray I have the tofu cut in the 1-inch width that's recommended in the recipe. This other one is more half an inch. After that we'll try, we'll see how this works, because I'm going to bake it and then I'm going to marinate it with a shallot and some Dijon mustard and some olive oil and what other junk, vinegar. And then we'll just keep experimenting. Step 2, the marinade. I've pulled these guys out of the oven. They actually kind of smell a little bit good, but they are kind of the color of Martian sand. I have made a marinade for my escabeche. Isn't that so much better sounding than spuma? The marinade is oil, Dijon mustard, vinegar, ground black pepper, and shallot. And the relationship is 1 to 2. 2 parts oil to 1 part vinegar. And I whisked it with a real whisk this time. And I put it in a little dish, and I'm just going to let these guys talk to one another, get all that stuff together, and then cover and refrigerate for at least 2 hours and up to a day. Serve cold or at room temperature. We'll see what happens. Okay, I have good news and bad news on the tofu escabeche. Bad news is that I really, really, really liked it and have been snacking on it all day, eating that in addition to all the other stuff I ate. It's delicious. I found it delicious anyway. The good news is that we do have a winner in terms of possible ways to make a corned beef-like texture. If you cut it a little bit thinner than called for in the original recipe, it really does have kind of a chewy, meatier texture. Just got to get the taste right. The other thing is that this marinade, the simple mixture of oil, white wine vinegar, shallot, and Dijon mustard, oh my gosh, that's fantastic for anything you do. It's like aromatherapy. Forget the cinnamon sugar candles, just make this marinade, it's fantastic. The other good news is that if you do ever come to my house for brunch, I probably won't make you eat this. I can visualize that conversation now. Hey Ruth, what are we having for brunch? Tofu escabeche. Oh, I think I have to go somewhere. Don't worry.